anatomy and physiology.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Sean, and for our anatomy week 1 module. So remember, each of the modules is 1 week long, and they usually start on a Monday morning, and I'll be trying to get everything together and set up by that Sunday prior. Look through your to-do lists and your how-to lists on this and make sure that you're logged into Canvas correctly, because if you're not, then you may need to contact your coordinators for that information. But if I got you on the list and you're in there and you're watching this video, you probably already are. You're going to see announcements every week, and the announcements every week are not only going to be motivational, but they're also going to be with some hints and some other video offerings that I've done. Now, each week I do a different video at least 2 times. 1 time on YouTube and 2 times or 1 or 2 times on Zoom for you guys specifically. Now, we'll go over the details of that in a moment. But first, hit the like button, do the like and subscribe, and you don't have to worry about leaving a comment, but that would be appreciated too, because that helps us kind of like keep things going on this little platform. I've kind of like pushed everything that I used to do aside, and we're doing this now. So this class, 6 weeks long of anatomy and physiology, is a doozy. We're going to go through things so fast. So, number 1 hint, go see the other videos on the playlist, anatomy and physiology. There's one on how to succeed in online classes. Definitely watch that one because they'll give you a lot of hints, which I'm going to go over again and again and again, but it never hurts to get it at least 50,000 times. We're going to go over introduction to the human body, chemistry, cells, cell metabolism, microbiology basics, and tissues and membranes. That'll get us into the integumentary system, which is the skin. So we got to start way, way, way back, and we're going to start back in the atoms and molecules and macromolecules, which are big molecules, and those turn into small little organs of cells called organelles, and then cells themselves, and then cells turn into tissues because they all work together, and tissues that work together become organs, organs that work together become organ systems, and organ systems that work together become an organism like you or me, and then an organization is a bunch of organisms working together. Basically this class. So week 1, lots of reading. You're going to have to learn to skim. I want you, one of the best things you can do is, as you're reading, jot little notes down. You may not remember them, you may not need to have them, or whatever, you may not even see them again, but getting them in your hand and in your brain is a good idea, okay? The textbook, you should make sure that that's downloaded. I would say for you and for all classes that I talk about, go buy the textbook. Go on ABE-Books, ABE books or something, or whatever it is, or thrifty books, or thrift books, or cheap text, or something like that, and buy it. You can buy the previous version for $6, $7, $8 if you can find it, okay? Try to get those, okay? We're going to go over a couple of these things, module 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Looks like 4 modules for this section, week 1. That's a lot. I'll be doing different videos for each of those, for you at least, and we'll do the Zooms for those. So pay attention to your announcements, to the cafe, to the discussion boards. We'll talk more about the discussions on that, so we want to keep the thread going for those as the conversation. Oh, note about discussion boards. Make sure that you're doing complete sentences and that you're responding to 2 other students. When you respond to 2 other students, don't say things like, I agree, unless it's, I agree, comma, and then 2 more sentences. Okay, or great work, comma, 2 more sentences about what they did. Okay, best case scenario is find out what they were talking about, take a word in there that you don't really know, or that you think you may need some more work on. Go look that word up and give me a better definition, like relate it to it somehow. That's always a good way to do it. That's a way to get full points. 20 points extra on each of those discussion things, and you know, it's easy to get. For this one here, week 1 discussion on homeostasis. Homeo means same. Stasis means static, same stillness, basically. It means everything is equal. Everything on the outside has been equalized to the inside. We're like we're working with the environment. Homeostasis is your heart rate. Homeostasis is the heart rate being low when you're inactive and high when you're active. Homeostasis is having a fever when you're sick and not a fever when you're not sick. Those are homeostatic kind of controls. Other things for homeostasis would be, you know, the blood sugar levels, or your oxygen levels versus carbon dioxide levels, how those are changed through respiration and building of acids and release of acids, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Look up homeostasis. There's some examples. That's what we need. Before starting 1 week discussion topic, please introduce yourself to the class. Carefully respond to the questions below. What name do you like to be called? So that's a little more useful in personal stuff. We can use it when we're on Zoom as well, because we will have Zooms, and you got to be there for Zooms to get the credit for the attendance. What interests? What made you want to become a health professional, and what are your ultimate career goals? So, now this is the first one, discussion. Okay, Mr. Shepherd has gone outside to shovel snow on a cold day, which I did this morning. How does his body maintain a relatively constant body temperature? Describe the process in detail. Now, in the past, people have said things like, well, he should wear gloves, he should wear a hat, he should wear a nice coat, which are all good choices for him to maintain warmth. But as he starts to shovel, let's say he has a coat on and a hat on and gloves, let's say he gets too warm. What is his body, not him, what is he going to do? What is his body going to do to respond to that? So let's say he went out and he wasn't wearing enough clothing, right? No, the most obvious answer is, well, put on another coat, dummy. But sometimes we have to get, the next step is maybe he would sweat, or maybe he would pant more to release some of that heat, right? If he was cold, he would possibly shiver, right? That's that's what they're talking about in this kind of thing. Describe the process in detail. So let me know how the body reacts to those. You may want to look into some other bigger things later on too. We'll come back and talk about Mr. Shepherd anyway. When we get to skin, when we get to muscles, and we get to the nervous system as well. Okay. In your responses to your peers, you might challenge their explanations with reliable evidence. So evidence is a good thing to have. If you have evidence, put a link. Okay. APA format is always really good. That's how you get the full credit. Okay. You may also discuss how clothing or lack of appropriate clothing might affect his body temperature. So that kind of goes back to it, but we want to know what his body's doing. Okay. To join the discussions, there's 3 dots above, which will give you the rubric. So you say show rubric, and here's what it's going to tell you. It's going to say, here's how to get all the points. Initial post, that's what you put, right? The comprehension, do you understand what's going on? Post demonstrates depth of understanding of the course content, so you did your reading. Addresses discussion promptly and completely. Offers clear point of view and detail. This is good. Initial post timeliness. You turned it in on time. 2 points. That's 10%, right? Initial post mechanics. That's how you spell things, guys. That's how you. So a lot of times words will get spell checked, and you might not see it's a similar word that's not the word you wanted. So make sure you check on those, and also check on your grammar and your mechanics and stuff like that. Periods are important, and so are capital letters. Okay, commas in the right places, etc., etc. Peer responses. So 1 to 2 response posts. You should do 2. Please refer to the week's discussion for specific requirements. To join the discussion, okay, there we go, to your peers. Says, okay, new responses. Submits required number of responses posts. Responds extends the discussion by making connections related to others' ideas and adding supporting detail. That's important. That's how you get like 6 points. Okay, if you don't do that, you only get 2, 3, 4 points or none. Response timeliness, you do those in time. Those are usually due by the next Sunday. Peer responses, spelling and grammar mechanics, posts have 0 to 1 mistakes. So you get 4 points for having good English. If English is a second language, do your best. I'll understand. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy on it, but I do want you to, be able to at least get your point across. Because a lot of stuff that you're going to be doing in your careers as a healthcare person, provider, etc., is relating things by writing and reading reports. Okay, we'll be doing there's things. Let's go to the next one. I'm on pages week 1 instructors section, case studies. Okay, case studies. You have to download. So here's the key with the case studies. Download the sheet. On the sheet, fill it out. Submit that. Many people have been filling things out and sending me a blank worksheet, which doesn't give me anything. You don't get anything, no points for that. However, if you do turn something in, make sure that you're turning it in a format that I can read, not that just you have, okay? Doc files, docx files, PDFs are the only thing I can accept. Photographs of your computer are not acceptable. Okay, photographs, PNG and JPEG files of something you wrote down in handwriting. No, this is college, guys. We need to step it up and be able to turn this stuff in like this. You can do this. I mean, let's work on it. That's the thing to work on the first week. Okay, don't fall behind. If you fall behind, it's hard to catch up. I'll keep on top of you about that. I'll keep reaching out to you and making sure everything's going cool and groovy with those. Let's make sure and get everything going in, okay? Some of these things will have a quiz with it or like a couple questions. Lab worksheets. I will go over that at a different time because I don't want to do too much time on this one. I just want to go through these things. Chapters 1 through 6 quiz. Hoi! There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. We'll go over that at a different time too. Now, if you watch the rest of the videos, you will see maybe 1 or 2 videos per week based on the quizzes and the other stuff like that. The assignments and the discussion boards. Okay, discussion boards are actually pretty hefty. They're a pretty hefty part. Week 2 reading, it goes straight into, that's going to be integumentary, skeletal, and muscular. Anyway, so a lot of work for you guys, but you can do it. I'm going to keep with you on it. We'll keep in contact as best we can. There's a couple places we can keep contact, and one is the discussion board, and that's going to be for discussions themselves, and the cafe. Now also look for the assignment or the announcements, which is at the top of the page there, home announcements syllabus. Announcements are where I'm going to tell you everything that's happening for the week. Zoom meetings, we've had problems with them in the past because it's hard to get coordinated for those things. So I want you guys to really make sure that you understand the difference between Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern time zones, okay? Because most of the stuff is either on Eastern time zone or Pacific's time zone. So pay attention to that. And I'm usually doing my Zoom call stuff at Mountain time, which is Colorado time, Denver time. That's when I'm usually doing those kind of things, and then you have to coordinate from there. So, okay, so you guys, you take care and be good, and good luck with the class. I think you're going to do fine. Let's make sure that we're getting everything done correctly and in on time, and I'll help you out as best I can. We'll get you going from there. Okay, take care, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye.